Hello, welcome to Go Beyond Betty. It is the holiday season and we are going to make cookies today to give to people because we are nice. We are nice people. Unless we just don't feel like it and we want to save them for ourselves, because that is what you're going to do with these cookies. Tom calls them crack cookies because it is impossible to only eat one, and I bet you haven't had this cookie before. So today we're going to crank these cranberry cookies with brown butter frosting out because we're nice. We need 3 cups of all-purpose flour. Along with the dry ingredients, we're going to need 1 teaspoon of baking powder, half a teaspoon salt, and a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. I know that seems like a very insignificant amount, but you do need it. We're going to start in our mixer 1 cup of sugar, 3/4 cup of packed brown sugar, and 1 stick of butter. And I don't know about you, but my stick of butter that's been sitting out all day was still solid as a rock. So I had to throw it in the microwave for about 10 seconds, which completely softens it up. So I'm going to get these two beaten and whipping together. After it's fully incorporated and getting fluffy, I'm going to add in 1 egg, a 1/4 cup of milk, and 2 tablespoons of orange juice. And I'm using fresh orange juice. It really doesn't matter. I just happen to have a tiny orange, and that's all I have. Follow me. All right, in they go. Mix them around on low speed. Increase. So once they're fully incorporated, keep it on low. Add in your egg. And then you're going to add in your milk and orange juice. Now keep in mind, orange juice, even though it's not acidic like lemon juice, it's still acidic, and it is going to look like it's curdled just the tiniest bit. I promise it won't show up at all in your cookies. Impatient kids want to go outside and have dinner. They have to wait. So you can see it just looks a little bit strange. I promise you won't notice it in the cookies. Next, we need to add our dry ingredients on low speed, and then slowly add your flour mixture. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Continue to mix just until it comes together. Just like all cookies, you don't want to overmix it. You should now have a nice stiff batter. Next, coarsely chop 1 cup of walnuts. Looks good. Coarsely chop 2.5 cups of fresh cranberries. They can be frozen or refrigerated. And that's what you're looking for. We don't want them so small, but we don't want them huge. So now the final step is really important. Our dough is incorporated 95%. We've dumped in the walnuts and the cranberries, but we just need it to come together. You don't want pink cookies, you just need it combined. And that's it. It is time to scoop. So I like to use the smallest scoop that I have, called a 50. I think it's probably just a tablespoon. They're not going to spread a whole lot, so you can pretty much load this up. Lillian, the inflatables are coming out right now, and the Grinch is next door, and she's gonna protect me. I don't know if you can hear her growling. So I'm gonna do probably 3 across, and maybe at least 5 down. I might be able to load it up even more, but I definitely don't want them to run together. Lily, stop it. I like these small because it is a very decadent cookie. Perfect timing. All right, again, with that small scoop, you should be able to get 15 on a tray. Depending on your size, you're gonna bake them for probably 15 to 18 minutes. Just keep it on them. You want them golden brown on the bottom. The top isn't gonna be very brown. So just kind of look for the bottom, make sure the bottom has gotten just that brown color. The next thing we need to do is get our frosting ready. If you've never browned butter before, you're missing out. Butter, when you brown it, you heat it, it literally gets brown. It starts to separate some of the solids in there and toast them up. And it just takes on a whole new flavor profile. It's delicious. In fact, the other night I had some fresh bay leaves from my neighbor Dara. Thank you, Dara. And I browned some butter and I put in the bay leaves and had like brown bay butter. I don't know if you'd say it like that. But you can put it on anything. You can put it on potatoes or steak. It's just delicious. So take 1 stick of butter, put it in some kind of pan that it's okay if it gets a little bit bubbly, And ideally just metal so you can really see the color. If this was a dark pan, it'd be really hard to see the brownness. You don't want dark and you don't want too light. You want just this happy medium. So keep your eye on it. It's kind of like toasting nuts. You don't want to walk away or go too far. So just a medium low heat and let it go until it's nice and brown. So every time you walk by, just give it a swirl. Don't have it on too high. This is probably too high and I have it on a 4, so I'm going down to a 2. It's been about 4 minutes, but it's not done yet. When it starts getting foamy, it's almost ready, homie. You'll notice it goes really quickly from that foamy top, and you can totally see the bottom is very brown, boiling through. So once you get to a nice golden brown color, we're done. Turn it off the heat. So while your cookies are out and they're starting to cool, we're gonna finish our frosting. So we have our brown butter. I let it cool for just a little bit. That's just 1 stick, and we're gonna add in 2 cups of powdered sugar. Dusty. Mix that in. Notice how brown that butter is, even without any vanilla in it. We are gonna add in a 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla. Now once you get this combined, it's still gonna be too thick. You're gonna want some hot water nearby. 2 to 4 tablespoons. So I'm just gonna start off with, that's about 1 tablespoon. Hot water just keeps it a lot more pliable and movable and glossy. Now we're getting there. So we have a nice consistency. You don't want to put these on hot cookies, so definitely wait till the cookies are 20-30 minutes out of the oven before you start putting this on there. And you'll notice after, if it's been too long, this is going to start to stiffen up. You could just rewarm it on the stove for 30 seconds, or maybe just add a touch more of hot water and mix that in. But you don't want it to get too liquidy. Then it gets off balance. You have to add more powdered sugar, too difficult. So just slightly warm it a little bit. You're ready to frost. Oh shit, brick. I just use an offset spatula, not even a teaspoon, just the tiniest bit smeared around on top. And you're gonna wanna put these on something so that they can not cool and not harden, but what's the words I'm looking for?
Firm.
Firm. Thank you. Yes, they're gonna get just kind of firm on top so that you can stack them if you need to in some type of container. Day of, they have the little bit of crispness on the bottom, but in the next hour or two, they're gonna be just completely soft cookies, which is delicious. Especially with all this delicious frosting. Tom, what's your favorite thing about these cookies?
When they soften, you can fit 3 in your mouth.
Good point. All right, so that's it. I'm gonna keep frosting away and try not to eat too many of these before our party tonight, because that would be very naughty of me. So thank you for joining me at Go Beyond Betty, where you are taking whisk in the kitchen, a brand new cookie for the holidays in your repertoire. Leave me a comment. Tell me your favorite holiday cookie. We'll see you next time. Bye. It is the best cookie you've ever had, I think. Don't you think?
It's awesome.
It's so delicious. Love it.